Good morning. Good morning. Um, my camera is weird. Let's try this. Hold on. All right. For some reason, it didn't like to be um, horizontal. So come on in. Come on in. We got some stuff to talk about today. This morning. This morning again. Good morning. I am P Ray. Let's go that way. Cool. All right. I am P Ray Easley. Come on in. Come on in. We're gonna do a quick live video today in response to the press conference that was held yesterday in Broadview, Illinois. So we know that we have been asking President Trump for the past at least 2 to 3 years to send federal help to the state of Illinois because we are dealing with we are dealing with tax mismanagement when it comes to giving money to the illegals. And so we understand that the reason that the illegals are able to thrive in Illinois is because of the legislation that is coming out of the Illinois State House and the legislation that's coming out of the Chicago City Council. Yesterday, there was a press conference with the leadership of the state of Illinois on top of the mayor of Broadview, and it was just a big glue glob of people. And so they all stood out there in front of the microphone, and they were going on and on and on and on and on about how ICE was no good, how the feds should work better with the local officials, how people are being disrupted. And I thought to myself, where were y'all at when we were trying to stop this at Amundsen Park? Where were you guys when the illegals were parked in front of the 15th District Police Station and nobody did anything? You guys did not come together for a press conference for that. You did not. You did not. You did not run to the well of the State House and scream as loud as you can, please help, we're being invaded on the west side. You didn't do that. Instead, you signed for legislation that has allowed us to become a sanctuary state and lure people from all around the world to come to our state to spend our money. You guys did that. Okay, you didn't talk about that. You guys never talk about the fact that the cartel brought these people here or trafficked these people here and that all of them paid to come here and inconvenience us in our town. You didn't talk about that either. You didn't talk about how the United States Civil Rights Commission published a 59-page report stating that illegal immigration hurts Black wealth. Y'all didn't do that either. Instead, you wanted to stand in front of a gate and clap for a gate being taken down, but gates were put around the United Center during the DNC. You didn't have a problem with a gate then. So I want everybody to look at every single person in that press conference and know that they don't care about you. They don't care about your family. They don't care about your taxes. They don't care about your health, safety, nor security. Yesterday at that press conference, they were not discussing the American people. They were discussing the illegals because the illegals are their priority at this very moment. That's what we're dealing with right now. This is a failure of leadership, which is why we had to go to President Trump and try to get some type of assistance, because the people who are supposed to be assisting us are not putting our best interests at heart. They're not prioritizing us. They're not doing any of that. I have never been more disappointed in my leadership than what I saw yesterday. And these are people that, again, raised me politically. Everything that I know how to do, I'm talking about looking up bills, talking to people, discussing policy, looking at the budgets. I learned from this leadership. And that's why I'm so disappointed, because I'm like, how are you guys looking at the same data that we're looking at, but yet you're not talking to advocate for our people? Friends, we gotta dump the Democratic Party. It is so important for us to get away from them as quickly and rapidly as possible. The American people are not the priority of these leaders. We saw it yesterday. Chris Welch is the Speaker of the House. Not one time did he go and report what we've been saying on the West Side, which is that we don't want to be invaded. When we were at Amundsen Park, none of them were there. None of them came out. None of them came to the press conference. Nobody even said, good job, y'all. None of them. But they were able to organize themselves with preachers and non-for-profit owners, everybody that's getting paid to push this illegal immigration on us here in Chicago. I also want to say that we in Black Chicago support ICE. I don't care what the TV says. I'm outside every single day getting signatures. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all some. 1 minute. All right, I'm back. Right here. These are all the petitions that I have gathered to get on this ballot, okay? I'm out here every single day talking to Black Chicago on my own 2 feet, getting signatures. And everybody is signing because they said that they're happy that ICE is here and that they want these people to get on about their business because our people need housing. We have a state rep there who sells our housing to them. He's getting paid to house them. Everybody is benefiting from this financially, but us. But the lay people, we're not making any money from this. Our taxes are going up. I posted a story on Twitter about a little boy who died of some obscure flu that came from him being around unvaccinated people. In 2023, Chicago was the epicenter of the measles outbreak because they allowed the illegals to put their children in the Chicago public schools without being vaccinated. So the children are getting sick. Did they have a press conference about that? No, they never, ever talk about the impact, the negative impacts that this illegal immigration has on their districts. We're not talking about anybody else but ourselves, and our leadership is not talking what we need to hear. They're not concerned about us. What they're concerned about is aligning themselves with these Democratic National Convention scripts so that they can be funded for their next campaign. Everybody is buying yard signs right now using our political capital, and they want to make this a Black issue, but it's only a Black issue because they allowed them to put the illegals in Black Chicago. So if ICE is coming, yes, Black Chicago is going to be affected because this is where you guys chose to plant them, and you put them there because you thought that we were going to act as a shield when ICE came, and Black folks say, I'm out the way. If you ask the average Black person out here on the street, again, I've been outside. I got the proof of me being outside, talking to all kind of people, y'all. This is like 600 signatures, okay? Shout out to my homegirl, Miss Yvonne, who got me some over in Inglewood. But aside from that, I'm outside every day getting these signatures, talking to the people. I'm not going through this ivory tower scripted form of politics that they're pushing on us. They don't care that the taxes are going up. So on Thursday, Mayor Johnson is about to do his budget address and tell us about a $17.9 billion budget that's going to include housing, utilities, everything for illegals. Like, how are we prioritizing these people in our conversations? And why are our leaders drawing a line in the sand and then standing on the side of the illegal immigrants? Because they're getting paid, friends. They're getting paid to do this. Today, the House Republicans did a press conference, and they spoke about how there currently is $1 billion of taxpayer funds that are kind of routed to politically connected non-for-profits. So again, people are getting paid off of this. They don't care that women are being raped. They don't care that people are getting their doors kicked in by these folks. They don't care that germs are spreading through the Chicago public schools. They don't care that your taxes are going up because you are not the priority. It is so important for us to dump the Dems. Dump them. And it's not that they're bad people. Okay, again, I know them. Well. I know, when I say I know them, I know them. However, I mean, they're not bad people. They're not bad people at all, which is why when I come on here, I don't attack people's character. I don't talk under their clothes. We're only here for policy purposes. However, hold on. Someone said, how can I be a congressional candidate and I'm not registered? Hold on. We're going to talk about that. However, they're not serving us. 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 And it is time to move on. So I want you guys to please tell everybody, if you are someone who has a social security number in the United States of America, the Democratic Party doesn't have anything for you. Nothing. I did my research and I looked to see when have they ever gathered like this to talk about issues in the Black community. Have they gathered like that to talk about why we have an 8% reading proficiency in the Chicago public schools? No, but they're the ones down in the State House controlling state policy. They're not talking about us. They're not talking about the Black maternal health crisis that we're having, where pregnant women go into the hospital and come out without their lives or their babies. That's not a priority for them. They didn't gather for that. They gathered for the illegals. And therefore, they have shown us who their priorities are. Everybody wants to get into it with Donald Trump and have the best speaking point and go viral, but it's hurting us. You can't fight the president of the United States and not think it's not going to help hurt your constituency. No. They are harming us for a beef that has absolutely nothing to do with us. We have federal solutions. Stay out of ICE way. Get out of their way. When you see them coming, go the other way. Say, what? Not my business, and lock your door. I told y'all meat is on sale in the city of Chicago. Go buy yourself a meat pack and barbecue if you need something to do, but stay out of their way. We are trying to get some type of assistance with this very illegal human trafficking operation that's going on here in Cook County that we're being forced to pay for as taxpayers. It's not okay. And again, the people want different. The people, I don't have money to pay people 50 cents a signature to go do my petitions. I don't have that. I'm just one lady trying real hard to get some type of stabilization here because the taxes are going up. That's why they delayed the property tax bills, because they know that they're about to be astronomical and people are about to be deeply offended. So they're trying to hold off on that and make your attention go toward, oh Lord, they're out here in Broadview and they're inconveniencing people. How? Who's being inconvenienced? And friends, you want to know a secret? J.B. Pritzker sent the state police out there. So the state police are there. So JB is allowing them to step up and take all the blame while he's secretly behind the scenes. Oh, you can go past. While he's secretly behind the scenes helping ICE. You understand? Like, this is not a game. Look at who's out there. Why does the Illinois State Police need to go to Broadview, Illinois to help with crowd control when Broadview has a police force? Because they've been instructed not to help ICE. Because they've been instructed to let all this chaos go on so people can make videos and then make this an anti-Black movement. ICE has absolutely nothing to do with us, people. That's not our business. We are American citizens. ICE is not coming to bother Black people. No, I'm outside all day. I've never seen any ICE trucks. I've never seen them stopping Black people. I've never seen any of that. They're not telling the truth. And we have to, gosh, it's hot in this house. We have to also make sure that before we share something, that it's legitimate. People have been sharing lies. People have been repurposing videos from years ago saying, look, they're arresting a 15-year-old, or look, they zip tied a baby, or look, they're over there hurting Black people. There's currently a bounty available of $500 for anybody who can provide a photo of Black children being handcuffed or zip tied in South Shore. Because everybody was out there, right? We have all these people in front of all the cameras and everybody was talking. So where are the pictures? We have no proof of anything like this happening, but people are creating all of this propaganda because Black women in Chicago and Mark Carter, shout out to Mark Carter, have pushed for us to get some type of change. So what they're doing now is trying to delegitimize us through a campaign of misinformation. And what I'm saying is ignore them, continue to go online and fill out the ICE tip form. In Braddock, Pennsylvania, a great-grandmother who was a mother of 10 was brutally slaughtered by an illegal immigrant who stabbed her to death and bound her arms and legs with a dog leash. We got the little girl down south. I think she's in Arizona, the 12-year-old. Al Gray is her last name. Two illegals raped her, murdered her, and buried her in a 2-foot shallow grave. 12 years old. She was just minding her own business. We got Megan Boss here in Lake County, who was found in a vat of acid dissolving in the backyard of an illegal immigrant. And because of our Safety Act, they were unable to detain him. So he went back home. Her mama had to make her way into the White House and have a conversation with President Trump in order to get some justice for her child in this state. Those state reps didn't talk about that. Instead, they want to sit there and have a pity party and trauma bonds over the illegals, and we are not doing that. We're not doing it. Go online and fill out your tip form, because the life you save might be your own. The child you save might be your own. I'm serious about that. 866-DHS2-ICE, 866-347-2423. We need them in Chicago, and we're happy that they're here. When you see ICE, platform, say, welcome to Chicago. We ask for you to come. Please enjoy yourself. Go get yourself some jerk tacos, okay? Like, this is not a game. Please ignore these people. They showed us yesterday who their priority is, and it is not us, friends. It is not us. They didn't say anything about the fact that they're here taking up the housing stock, and that our people, in order to get a low-income apartment, have to move to Iowa for a year and then try to make their way back. But they didn't make them wait. CHA has a waiting list that's been that way for 25 years with 120,000 American families on it. The illegals didn't have to wait. They didn't have to wait. Guys, this is again very, very, very frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating, because I watched that press conference and I was waiting on them to say something, acknowledge the fact that the people on the West Side asked for this. Now, they could have said, hey, we understand that local people asked for this, but things are not going how they should. They didn't acknowledge our ask at all. They didn't go down to the State House and try to fix the sanctuary laws to make it a moratorium so that ICE can come up here and get the terrorists out. They didn't do that, because we are not the priority. Them getting money out the deal is the priority. The state of Illinois spent $2 billion on health care for the illegals. $2 billion. What could we have done with $2 billion in the state of Illinois? Which is why we are putting an end to this. Thank you, President Trump. To my Donnie. Thank you to my Donnie. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you for listening to us and taking our requests seriously, because our leadership left us for dead. They left us for dead. They didn't care. They did not care. I'm telling you, we've been out here fighting against this illegal immigration for years now. They've never stood with us. They've never gathered in front of the cameras to talk about how this is impacting American people, but they stood out there for almost an hour yesterday caping for illegals, talking about a gate. A gate? A gate? And we got all of this chaos in Chicago, and y'all got together to talk about a gate and some illegals. These are not our friends. This is not our leadership. So again, dump the Dems. With that being said, let's move on to these petitions. Like I said, we outside. I'm not gonna, we'll do it this way. We outside, we got the signatures. People, oh, they're not going to sign for a Republican. People are happy to sign for a Republican. I tell them what we're doing. They say, hurry up, P-Ray, get that to me. Pass this around, because she's talking about what we need to talk about, which is federal housing mismanagement in the city of Chicago. They're not talking about that either. They're never talking about that. I have a girlfriend. Actually, she's like one of my little mamas, because she's like 25, but she has cancer. And she was getting treatment over in the medical district. However, she signed up for a low-income apartment. They made her move to Oklahoma for a year before she could come back to the city of Chicago. Now, this is an American citizen. My little homie went to Oklahoma and almost died, y'all. Died. She had to run back to Chicago and get back on her treatment plan, because what they had out there in Oklahoma did not match what we have down here on the west side of Chicago. Why did that girl have to move out of state, but they're giving illegals apartments and paying for them? Paying for them. We don't deserve this. We don't deserve this. Please dump the Dems. Get away from them as fast as possible. With all of that being said, let's talk more about the campaign. So someone wrote in the comments, how are you running for Congress and you're not registered yet? The goal is to get the signatures. Once you get the signatures and you turn them in, then you can do what you have to do. Step by step by step. Because I know that there are people who are about to challenge all of these signatures for me. All of them, which is why I'm going to go get 100 more. You know, we want to bring as many signatures to the table as possible. I was at Pastor Abercrombie's church last weekend, not this weekend past, but 2 weekends ago. And I was going through the line and I was getting my signatures and I was talking to the people. However, there was a Democrat moving through the line getting the signatures as well. When I was telling them what my plans were, they said, I got to go find that other man's board because I want them to cross my name off the board because if he went down to Springfield and voted for this, he can't be my congressman. It's true. P. Ray never voted for that. P. Ray never stood and asked people to support it because I understand that we need to give our tax dollars to ourselves. So step by step, we're going to get these signatures. We can start turning them in next week. So hopefully we have our petition packet completed by then, and we're going to get through our challenges, and we're going to make this ballot, and we're going to shake Chicago. Even win, lose, or draw, I'm still going to continue to do the work that I'm doing. I'm not a congresswoman. I am the alternate delegate to the RNC from the Illinois 7th Congressional District. That's the elected office that I currently hold. So why am I the only one talking to the federal government about assisting us here on the ground? Who am I? I'm just one lady on the west side. One lady that's like, absolutely not. We cannot have this going. Let me get out here and shake a hand and make a friend so that we can get some assistance. You know, people think that every night I talk to the president on the phone and give him a report on what's happening in Chicago. But I'm going to advocate for my people. Absolutely. I'm going to use every single route available to give us the assistance that we are entitled to. Nobody's doing us a favor. ICE not doing us a favor. Border Patrol not doing us a favor. The National Guard's not doing us a favor. The U.S. Attorney General, who is coming, Pam Bondi, is on her way. It's about to be some indictments going on. They're not doing us a favor. HUD's not doing us a favor. We are just getting what we are entitled to as American people. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Share this live. I'm going to go because, you know, I don't want to make my videos too long. But P. Ray for Congress, P. Ray for Congress, P. Ray for Congress. Once we do our official announcement, once we make the ballot, some stuff is about to shake. We got America behind us. America is behind this move in a way that you don't understand. This is about to be a national race. All eyes are on Chicago because every road in America leads to Chicago, and we have inspired America to fight back. So wherever you are in your town, be who you want to be. You have the government that you accept, and we're not accepting this in Chicago because we deserve the best of everything. The slogan for this campaign is, we deserve the best of it all. We deserve the best, the best, the best. Not what's left over after they've taken care of everybody. No more finding comfort in chaos and leisure and lack. We're not doing that anymore. We don't have to do that anymore. It is 2025 and we have options. I'm going to close with this. Yesterday, Michael Madigan went to prison. They gave him, I don't know, some time. He went on the East Coast, I believe. They locked him up. They did not put him in Terre Haute. With that being said, he was the leader of the Illinois State House for years. Everybody at that press conference is a Madigan supporter. He was their boss. He was their boss. And Mike Madigan was super duper corrupt. So I want you to think, what did he teach them? And I'm not saying that these are corrupt people, that they are unscrupulous people, because I know them and I love them. I love these people. I know them well. These are not just social media friends. We hang out at parties. We go to events. I've known these people my entire life. I've been in a political game for 25 years. 25 years, and I'm not even 40 years old. So I do this. I know what I'm talking about, but they are playing with us, and we deserve better. And in order for us to completely dismantle this machine, because it's a machine, In order for us to dismantle the machine, we have to disengage, and that's why we're going to dump the Dems. This is P. Ray. Thank you for watching. P. Ray 47 and P. Ray for Congress. God bless America.